How are you? What's your name again?
My name is Rich Cook.
Okay, Rich.
I live here in JXing.
Okay.
I'm with the Development Corporation here in town, and somebody contacted me, or maybe would have been me, to set up this appointment. And I don't know exactly what you got told, but Development Corporation has been working here in town for a long time. Have you ever heard of the Development Corporation?
Oh, sure. Yep.
Okay, great. Well, what we've done is invested in some land up along Interstate 90 and Industrial Park Road. Have you heard, about that area?
A little bit. There's some exciting opportunities.
Yeah, there's where the city shop was. That's all gone now, and we're looking at putting some development in that area. Retail, commercial, maybe some industrial housing, things like that. You probably heard about the housing development.
Yes.
In the area. Exciting opportunities there. I know you got a great business here in town. Main Street, I know I've been there, got some stuff. I don't think I've got any stuff. I wanted to get some stuff, so what we're looking at is people from the town, the community, that potentially maybe are looking at expanding, whether it be downtown or someplace else, or just giving them an opportunity to look at this might be a place for them. So I know being downtown has the advantages, but maybe there's some other advantages out there in the industrial park in that area. So we've got exposure along the interstate, we've got exposure along Industrial Park Road there. And one thing that's happening, just to make sure you're understanding, is that we're going to be working with the city to start doing the other infrastructure, because there's obviously not a lot of roads in this area right now, but we're going to be putting in the infrastructure related to that. So road will be going through there, and along with that will be the other things like electrical and water, sewer, and those sorts of things. So that's all coming together up there. So just be a matter of those that are interested, then just having an opportunity right away to figure out what's the best spot. Who knows where the best spot is. I need to probably let you know that right in the corner here, there's already a developer that's kind of got that area reserved right now. So just to make sure put as much disclosure as possible. So, without having an opportunity to really look at this, I'm kind of looking at this for the first time. So this is just another overview of the area, and see some of the great businesses that are already in existence. Up here, the Industrial Park Road, if you've been out there's lots of people that come and go through that area, and obviously we have a lot of traffic with the I-90 and 71 there. And what we're looking at is some other information that's on this sheet. It's just to let you know that things are growing. I know you're relatively new to the community here, but these are some other things that are happening here in the not too distant future. The liquor store we have in town, they're looking at potentially being one of the first tenants in that area. Of course, that's not a given right now, but that's one business that's done pretty well in the town here. Lewis Drug, I think you've seen that position itself in the new building there. The credit union is actually a new business in town too, and they're located out in that area, and some other things that you'd be aware of. Little known thing, unless you've been here for a while, Agco. A lot of people work there, but there's also something called the Activity Center, which maybe you've been at, and over 10,000 people visit that. So that's one of those things that kind of gets missed when people look at what are the opportunities in this area. And then there's some population information here. And what we're talking about, a lot of the information is about Jackson County per se. We're kind of focusing obviously where the opportunity is in the city of Jackson, but a lot of great people live throughout the county and work in Jackson, commute back and forth. So here's some population figures. And then there's also something called a trade area. And that really is an opportunity beyond the people that live here, the people that commute here. We're talking about a trade area that surrounds the city of Jackson and the Jackson County itself. I know I travel because there's some things that I can't necessarily get here. I'd love to do more business in town, but just for whatever reason, I might go someplace else. But we're also looking at people that travel out of Jackson and potentially come here in addition to working here. So these to me are just people that need your kind of stuff that you have, and hopefully you're providing a lot of that stuff now. Maybe you saw it, boy, if I had a little bit more room, I would be able to service the area even better. And then here is the trade area alluding to. We've got about $545 million in retail sales in this area, so there's a lot of money available. Not necessarily probably all going toward your business, but there's money to be spent out there. And unemployment right now is really low in the county, so I think there's some people that are willing to maybe spend some of that money.
Okay.
Farm economy maybe is not as good as it has been, but you know, that'll come back. You know, you a few years on you and you recognize your cycles in
That's
the
a lot.
business. Don't do that. Well, thank you for sharing that. Anyway, another thing here, we've got several different handouts here, and they got good information specific to things I want to cover here. There's $69 million in sales potential, and that really is, I believe, what we're calling is a sales leakage. So there's a certain amount of money that could be spent here, but we're recognizing there's actually $69 million that's actually going out.
Okay.
And what we got is a little bit of a breakdown there as far as the opportunity where money will be spent here, but probably is being spent someplace else. So like eating and drinking as an example is a big thing. People like to go out and eat nowadays. So $8 million is going out there. So for your particular business that's in here, wherever that is, there's some potential there for you to capture some or all of that, you know. And then, but also what we're talking about is a lot of people do commute here. Now those are people that come and go, and maybe they'll never live here, but potentially they could stop here if they knew about your business, and hopefully you're promoting that opportunity for them. But maybe if you were maybe if you're working, maybe if you had your business out on the industrial park, or in that area, potentially you have some more visibility there. So that's part of figuring out how to get the money to come there. But a lot of money there potentially you could tap into. A little bit more about the demographics here. You know, I'm sure that's where you need to figure out where you're going to focus on. I'm not sure where you're looking at for opportunities here, but we have people in a lot of different ages there. You know, with the computer industry from young to old, you know, people need your services there. So that's just some information about who's living here, and you might see the sign of the number of people that live in the community, but you never gave that much thought. But this might be some relevant information to help you when you figure out what you need to be focused on as far as some of the stuff that you have available there.
Okay.
And this is just some more information about our region. So I've done all the talking for a while, but have you ever thought of making a change in where you have your business at?
Well, we're always willing to listen to new ideas and look at new opportunities. When we look at this map or one of these maps up here, do you know like how many entrances or where you're gonna, if you're driving down 71, where you're gonna get, how you're gonna access this?
Good question. A lot of details are really being worked on, but we're pretty confident we're gonna have, there's already interest right down here, basically across from the golf course. And that's where Snick's sign is in that area there where that antique store is. And the Torgesons used to live down here, so that driveway there is going to be built up to be more like a regular city street. And then we have the housing that's down here, so there's probably going to be a connection point between this road here and then to that housing area, so that's going to be there. And then what we're going to do is also have an access point over here. What you have here is this area is kind of divided into three areas. I talked about it in the corner, they're already being reserved. But there's also going to be another highway here, and there's going to be a lot between the new driveway or entranceway here and here. So there's a corner lot, and potentially another lot here, and potentially a lot here, and the road between them. And then this road here is going to connect. And that's not anywhere. So
it's just like a street? There'll be a street.
This will be a street, and there could be kind of a big, you know, hopefully my finger is pointing out what we're talking about here. It's kind of undefined where this is going to be because we don't know necessarily who might want some land, but we need to put something there, and then that kind of defines the space right now. We don't have anything platted or laid out right now, so it depends upon how big you want it and where you want it, and we can accommodate
so will the street be going in front of or behind the businesses?
Well, it really depends upon, the visibility is going to be out here. We don't imagine necessarily right now having a frontage road there, but it kind of depends upon what people have for a vision. One thing that we have to do is we have to accommodate this is getting a little bit of details, but we have to accommodate a drainage pond for the water. So just if you know a little bit about construction and all that. So we're probably going to have like a drainage pond down this area. So frontage on 71, some people say that's an awesome place, or frontage along Industrial Park, that might be perfect, or I really don't need visibility there. I just like to want to be in that area where there's going to be retail and commercial development and housing and all that.
Sure. Okay. Obviously, something like this for myself or any other business, it's going to be pretty capital intensive. Are there any loan programs or help available from the city or the county or the state or anything like that?
Great question. I don't know if you looked for or got help when you located downtown. If you did, you probably know some of those things are probably still available. And the thing about it is living in Jackson, we have a great thing here. We have Economic Development Office, what's a development corporation, and my JBDC partner we work with. We have Sue Persig who works down there. You probably know Sue or maybe worked with her in the past.
I've heard about her.
She's really well, anyway, what she has is all those different things, and I could lay out some things that I have experience with, but you really need to see what's available, and it really is predicated on what specifically you're looking at doing, the size of the opportunity, how many jobs we're talking about, and there's just a lot of different factors that, because we really are looking at the city and state has some things available, and the city of Jackson especially really wants to help people to be successful, whether it's in housing or retail like this. Great questions. Anything else?
And this is available when, or it's I drive by there and there's not too much going on now. What's the plan there?
What's really fun about this is just the infrastructure, and that's the road that we were just talking about is going to go in place. They're doing bidding on it, I believe, right now, and that hopefully we do plan on it being in place in essence this summer. So we're just looking for and going to the existing businesses in town to make sure they're aware of this opportunity, even though they might have saw something in the paper, all that, they maybe not recognize or understand what does that have to do with me. That's where we're meeting with people like you and making sure you know that. Now is the time to potentially look, to be aware of it and potentially think about maybe the opportunities that might present themselves with maybe potentially locating out there, or if you know some other business or some other entity that's been looking, this is an opportunity potentially for them to locate.
So if I'm interested, what's my next step? What's the next thing I should do?
The next step is, probably do some more thinking, get a piece of paper, blank piece of paper, start writing down these great questions and hopefully relate the answers I put down. Okay. I'm going to make sure you have this packet for you, and then I really suggest you talk to your spouse or other business people associated with the business, and maybe contact Sue and see what time's available for her, and I'm sure she'd be more than willing to talk to you. And then with the Development Corporation, we have something called the Properties Committee. As you get closer to really, I've really got some hard, more defined questions that maybe Sue can answer. The Development Corporation and some of their subgroups will probably step in and start giving you some more details on that. So, Isn't that giving you some ideas?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much.
So we're trying to plant the seed if that isn't already there. We want it to grow. And I obviously just want you to continue to be successful wherever you're at. So,
okay. Well, thank you.
Anything else, Paul?
No.
All right.
Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you're a star, Rich. I think he's a star. I think we ought to hire Rich.